Metallica's ecosystem is building an infrastructure for regulated finance. Check this out. I asked a question over here. Does Metallicus and XPR have connections with the governments and banks? This is the answer. Check this out. What is Metallicus Metal Blockchain, the digital banking network? Metallicus is a fintech blockchain infrastructure company. Their digital banking network aims to connect TradeFi, traditional financial institutions, banks, credit unions to Web3 blockchain systems. We've talked about this time and again, folks, that XPR plans to be the Metallicus ecosystem overall, plans to be that connecting point between TradeFi and blockchain, folks, Web 2 and Web 3. And for this end, they are building their different features, their systems, such as white label fiat on ramps, identity systems, KYC, AML compliance, and banking integrations. They have an innovation program for financial institutions to experiment with blockchain. Check this out. They list integrations with existing banking fintech infrastructure providers, Fiserv, Jack Henry. They've also made their modules available on the Temenos exchange. And look at the certifications, service to government, central bank systems. Metallica's Metal blockchain achieved certification to support FedNow, the United States Federal Reserve's new instant payment rail. So this is legit, folks. This is happening. And a lot of people say that this is not true and these are all lies, but you can check this out that their documentation says they work closely with banking partners to get that certifications. Metal blockchain announced connectivity to FedNow. So these facts show that Metallicus is actively integrating into regulated banking systems and the central bank infrastructure. But integration of certification is not same as the government owns or controls. This is like that bridge or service provider roles that they are trying to provide to the banks, governments, financial infrastructure, financial institutions, obviously rather than a government agency itself. So this is awesome. Look at this. As far as XPR is concerned, they have made efforts to conform to financial messaging standards. For example, ISO 20022 compatibility to ease integration with banking and institutional systems. And like we saw that, yeah, it is not controlled or owned by any government or central bank. It is more about integration. It is more about interoperability. It is more about collaboration rather than control, folks. So this is what we're talking about, and in a nutshell, look at this. Yes, Metallicus has real and concrete connections with banking infrastructure. So this is true, like government payment systems like FedNow. Yes, XPR is built to interoperate with banks, traditional finance, and it includes identity, compliance, and whatnot. Now, I ask the question, will Metallica's ecosystem play a role in the new financial system, folks? Now, check this out. How Metallica's XPR and Metal blockchain loan protocol could become important players in this new system and what are the challenges they could face. Let's check this out. Look at this. Why Metallicus could play a role. Number one, bridging TradeFi and Web3. Metallicus promotes a digital banking network that aims to let banks, credit unions, and other financial institutions plug into blockchain infrastructure in a compliant way, folks. Now, this is a key highlight over here, in a compliant way rather than just simply doing it without legal aspects in the backdrop. FedNow instant payments integration. Metallicus has achieved certification or integration with the US FedNow system, the US central bank's instant payment rail, that gives them legitimacy and an edge when it comes to uh, uh, digital assets, when it comes to blockchain service provision, adopted by credit unions and institutions. Metallicus acquired or is integrating with Bonify, a credit union service organization, to onboard many credit unions to its compliant infrastructure, folks. And now look at this one: interoperable and modular design. The ecosystem, like I told you guys time and again, that includes a lot of projects, folks. Metallicus, the best thing about Metallicus is that it goes way beyond a single project or a single layer. There are multiple roles that are being played in its ecosystem, like XPR playing the role of a layer 1, Metal blockchain layer 0, Metal layer 2, optimism style scaling, and identity API modules. We're talking about WebAuth, we're talking about MetalPay, and most importantly, last but not the least, we can talk about loan protocol, how it wants to change or reshape DeFi, and the compliance, identity, and messaging standards are there. XPR is built to attach real identity and fiat accounts on chain, making know your customer and compliance more natural, and it is aligning with the new messaging standard of ISO 20022. Meanwhile, folks, any good ecosystem has to have a good, compliant stablecoin as well. Check this out. Their Metal Layer 2 introduces a Metal Dollar XMD stablecoin native to the ecosystem. So this is awesome, folks. This is awesome. And in a nutshell, look at this. Metallicus, Metal, XPR, Loan, they are positioning themselves not just a blockchain or a simple crypto project there to shell, there to pump and dump. They are building an infrastructure, folks, and not just an infrastructure for a regulated finance, a bridging layer, a connection point, basically a key component of a new financial system. So, yes, there is a reasonable case that Metallicus might have a role in the future of financial systems. By the way, folks, I might add one thing that it depends on the team as well in the future, how they develop, how they take Metallicus forward, how they take XPR Metal and their products forward. It depends on Marshall and the team as well, folks. So obviously there are some risks, challenges as any business, any project can face, be it legit, uh, be it a project that is a scam or legit. Any project, any business faces some challenges or risks, folks. Like look at this. One of the key risks: regulation and legal constraints, because this is a bit different, folks. What works in the US may be disallowed elsewhere, and you need to have an inclusive, it is hard to have that inclusive financial framework intact. This is why this is a constraint, but I'm sure that when regulations come into place, there will be a good regulatory framework in every state that will deal with this easily, folks. Competition, obviously there are competitions, but I think that a few of the projects are competing with XPR or Metallicus when it comes to compliance, when it comes to utility, when it comes to use cases. Some utility projects that we covered, these are the handful of projects that have a potential to do well, and I think there can be multiple winners in this space, folks. Check this out: chains with identity, interoperable standard, CBDC support. Traditional infrastructure providers are also competition, but I think that blockchain has that competitive edge when it comes to SWIFT, central bank networks, conventional payment systems. Adoption inertia, bank and large institutions are conservative, but I think that this is changing soon. They are getting on board this digital asset train, and they want change, folks. I think that they are planning to have that change soon. Trust and governance, users, regulators, institutions, obviously. According to this, I think Metallica's XPR is more likely to be part of the architecture of a future financial system. So this is awesome, folks. It is certainly possible, and they are constantly developing. They are constantly forging, constructing partnerships. Check this out. This was posted 5 hours ago, approximately. Payments, stablecoins, and the radical remaking of the financial industry, folks. Metallica CEO Irina Birkin will be speaking at the Amber Banker Tuesday, October 21st. Check this out: the most powerful woman in banking. Check this out. The panel over here. Rachel Andarica, Global Head of Operations, Encourage Digital, Bailey Rutzel, American Banker, Live Media, Senior Director, Strategy and Content. Then we've got Debopama Sen, Head of Payments Services, City, folks. And then we've got Irina Birkin, CFO of Metallicus. I mean, this is huge, folks. Now that the new acts are coming, the passages of the Genius Act, Clarity Act, the industry is preparing for both, working to take a leading position in stablecoin, cross border payments, real time settlement of business to business payments, integration with payment service providers. So much happening, folks. Merchant adoption in e commerce, introduction of bank issued stablecoins, and Metallicus is a front runner in this change. Like we saw, forging great contributions, forging great partnerships. No hype, just quietly contributing to the US Faster Payments Council alongside folks from Ripple Labs. Check this out. We've got digital assets overall work group contributors. We've got Triple Labs, James Salick, and then we've got Metallicus's Frank Mazza, folks. Metallicus is legit. XPR is legit, folks. It has the potential to do really good, and it has challenges that any business has. And if the team does well, it has the potential to become one of a juggernaut in this space. Look at this. The Fed's ISO 20022 deadline is coming this November, and we've seen XPR being one of those uh, chains that can provide the change. By the way, Metallicus XPR oftentimes is taken for granted. We do not see them in these lists most of the time. Anyways, it's still me. LB says that breaking this down for months, yet ignoring Metallicus, one of the only fully compliant blockchains, currently onboarding US credit unions during a time where major banks are failing and more are expected to. So, yes, folks, it has the potential to perform really well. A lot of people take it for granted, but I think that it has something special if they achieve what they want to achieve. While many blockchain projects talk about future ISO 20022 compliance, Metal Blockchain and XPR Network are already live with full ISO 20022 capabilities, making them the only blockchains in the world to achieve this milestone. I do not know how legit this is. You guys need to clarify this, because truly I do not know if they are the only blockchains in the world to achieve this milestone, because a lot of different projects claim to be totally ISO 20022 compliant. In my opinion, that there might be others as well that have achieved this, because we've seen XRP, XDC, QNT talk about this. So yeah, while the markets stay shaky, XPR quietly keeps proving its strength. Lightning fast transactions, zero gas for users. I do not know what the price is at the moment. This is a bit old. It takes just a second for the price to fall or rise, so you can check it out at the time of the publishing what the price might be. This is EchoX again. In other words, the Fed is part of the US Treasury. Check this out. Move to metal, by the way. The US Treasury added the FedNow service for instant disbursements for federal agencies, which we've advocated for. And Metallicus, as well as Metal Blockchain, having great connections with FedNow. I think this is a win situation for them. Look at this. Only two providers in the crypto realm, Bank Social and Metallicus. By the way, we had made a video on Bank Social as well. Pretty much, it was new back then. I think, yeah. This is where you have to ask which one has live working functional applications and which one is just speaking smokes. So, yeah, this is also a question, because we need to verify as well which one of them is truly, which one of them has true working functional applications. Obviously, EchoX means that, yeah, Metallicus has them. So, yeah. Okay, check this out. Credit unions align with the crypto ethos. community, control, ownership. So I've long said these would come together. Soon people will use stablecoins under the hood. It is blockchain, DLT, 24/7 and global. The future of payments, folks. Future of banking, future of payments. So, like I told you guys, that Metallicus is creating an infrastructure for regulated finance, folks. Saint Cloud Financial Credit Union to launch first credit union stablecoin in the US with Metallicus. This is great, folks. Look at this, Marshall always active. What I like about Marshall and Hugo Fillion from Flair, folks, both of them are constantly posting, constantly active. This is one of the best part about both of these leaders. Imagine if your rewards credit card not only gave you rewards with merchants, but also crypto rewards while connecting you directly to the blockchain. So, this is awesome, a digital asset movement brewing within America's credit unions, and it will change everything. So, folks, what do you guys think about Metallicus, XPR, Metal? Do you think that Metallicus is indeed building an infrastructure for regulated finance? I would really like your opinions. Do hit the comment box below and let the community know. Anyways, guys, this was it for the video. If you liked it, make sure to like, share, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification icon if you're interested in utility coins and potential gems. And you can also support the channel by checking out Patreon by following the link in the description box below. Until next time, stay blessed and stay tuned. Thank you very much, everyone.